I want to thank my extraordinary hosts. First of all, Taoiseach Kenny, his lovely wife, Fionnuala, President McAleese, and her husband, Martin, for welcoming me earlier today. Thank you, Lord Mayor Jerry Breen and the Garda, for allowing me to crash this celebration. Let me also express my condolences on the recent passing of a former Taoiseach, Garret Fitzgerald. Someone who believed in the power of education, someone who believed in the potential of youth, most of all, someone who believed in the potential of peace and who lived to see that peace realized. And most of all, to the citizens of Dublin and the people of Ireland for the warm and generous hospitality that you've shown me and Michelle. It certainly feels like 100,000 welcomes. We feel very much at home. I feel even more at home after that pint that I had. Feel even warmer. In return, let me offer the hearty greetings of tens of millions of Irish Americans who proudly trace their heritage to this small island. They say hello. Now, I knew that I had some roots across the Atlantic, but until recently, I could not unequivocally claim that I was one of those Irish Americans. But now, if you believe the Corrigan brothers, there's no one more Irish than me. So I want to thank the genealogists who traced my family tree. Right here, thank you. It turns out that people take a lot of interest in you when you're running for president. They look into your past. They check out your place of birth. Things like that. Now, I do wish somebody had provided me all this evidence earlier, because it would have come in handy back when I was first running in my hometown of Chicago. Because Chicago is the Irish capital of the Midwest. A city where it was once said you could stand on 79th Street and hear the brogue of every county in Ireland. So naturally, a politician like me craved a slot in the St. Patrick's Day parade. The problem was, not many people knew me or could even pronounce my name. I told them it was a Gaelic name. They didn't believe me. So one year, a few volunteers and I did make it into the parade, but we were literally the last marchers. After 2 hours, finally, it was our turn. And while we rode the route and we smiled and we waved, the city workers were right behind us cleaning up the garbage. It was a little depressing. But I'll bet those parade organizers are watching TV today and feeling kind of bad. Because this is a pretty good parade right here. Go Bulls, I like that. We got some Bulls fans here. Now, of course, an American doesn't really require Irish blood to understand that ours is a proud, enduring, centuries-old relationship, that we are bound by history and friendship and shared values. And that's why I've come here today as an American president to reaffirm those bonds of affection. Earlier today, Michelle and I visited Moneygall, where we saw my ancestral home and dropped by the local pub, and we received a very warm welcome from all the people there, including my long-lost 8th cousin, Henry. Henry now is affectionately known as Henry VIII. And it was remarkable to see the small town where a young shoemaker named Fomuth Carney, my great-great-great-grandfather, my grandfather's grandfather, lived his early life. And I was shown the records from the parish recording his birth. And we saw the home where he lived. And he left during the Great Hunger, that so many Irish did, to seek a new life in the New World. He traveled by ship to New York, where he entered himself into the records as a laborer. He married an American girl from Ohio. They settled in the Midwest. They started a family. It's a familiar story, because it's one lived and cherished by Americans of all backgrounds. It's integral to our national identity. It's who we are, a nation of immigrants from all around the world. But standing there in Moneygall, I couldn't help but think how heartbreaking it must have been for that great-great-great-grandfather of mine and so many others to part, to watch Donegal Coast